Hey friends, Alex Ibarra here with a new video for you, continuing with our Pro Tools Cubase series. In this video we will go over the group and effects track, aux input and groups. If you do not know what this series is about, I will leave a link to the introduction video down in the description box. Please go check it out and I'll see you here again. So let's get started. Group and effects tracks in Cubase have a similar functionality with a slight but very important difference. A group channel and an effects channel allow us to manipulate different channels, different tracks at once. So let's start with the group channel. I have a drum recording here, and before we start I would like to go over to the routing section in the top part of our rack. And as you can see, all our tracks are being routed to the stereo bus, which is this one. And from here it goes out to my main studio monitors. Alright, so I will select the first track of my drums. While holding down shift I will select the last one. I will right click any track and select add group channel to selected channels or tracks. I will name this drums and we'll add the track. Alright, let's go back to the routing section. But so now our drum tracks are going to the drum bus, which is this one, and my drums bus is going to the stereo output. So the routing has changed. So say for example that I have found the perfect balance in my drum tracks. Let's take a quick listen. So I found the right balance for each one of my drum tracks, but maybe the general volume is too high in my mix, so I need to bring it down. This is where the group channel comes in. I can't pull down each one of the faders individually. I mean, I can, but it's not the right way to do it. Number one, because it would be time consuming. This drum set only has eight tracks, but there are drum recordings that have way more tracks, so that would take some time. And number two, and more importantly, if I bring down the volume of each one independently, I might lose the balance that I already had, the right balance that I had found. So if we need to bring the volume down, we simply pull down the drums group fader, we bring it down, and it brings down the general volume of my drums without affecting or without having to move each one of these faders. Alright, that's one of the uses we have for this drums channel, group channel. We can also add inserts that will affect all of my drum tracks. For example, I can add a compression maybe. So I will add this compressor. You know, nothing really specific, just for demonstrating purposes. I'll start bringing up the compression up, the input. And the advantage of doing this is that I only have to add one plugin that will affect all of my tracks instead of adding one plugin per track. And this will help me save a lot of CPU resource. Alright, so that is all with the group tracks. You can also add general EQ to all of the tracks. You have a channel strip that will also affect all of the tracks being routed to your group channel. So before we continue, I'm going to route all of my drums back to my stereo bus. And to do this, you must select the first one. While holding down shift, select last track, and you press shift alt. You go up to the routing section, select stereo, and they will all the tracks that you selected will be routed. Alright, so I will my tracks are selected. I will right click again anywhere in any one of my tracks and go to add effects channel to selected channels. I will name this drums effects and add my track. Alright, so let's go up to the routing section, and this is the main difference I was talking about. The routing is still going to my stereo bus, but if I go down to the sense section, there my tracks are being sent to my drum effects group, my drum effects channel. So this duplicates the signal, one going this way, one going this way. And what's the purpose of this? We can maybe add a reverb. This is the most, or one of the most common uses for it. I will add a reverb. I will bring down the volume of my drum effects channel down, and I will start playing my drums, my drum recording. So if you remember, with the groups channel, if I brought the fader down, the general volume of my drums would go down, but not with the effects channel, because I'm having a signal that is going directly to my stereo bus. So I'll start bringing up the fader. And you can hear that the effect, the reverb is affecting all of my drum tracks, my drum recording in general. So the advantage of having a split signal is that you can play with the balance between the fader, the drum effects channel. You can also play with the balance in your plugin and the different parameters that it offers. So you have way more options to find the perfect sound that you are looking for. That's mainly the difference between a drum an effects channel and a group channel. Alright, so let's go on Pro Tools now. And in Pro Tools we don't have group tracks, but we can certainly work with groups. I'm going to select the first track of my drums. This is the same example, same drum recording. I will, while pressing down Shift, I will click on the last one, and now I will use the shortcut command G. So the create group window pops up. It's asking me to give it a name, so I will naturally name this drums, and it's asking me what type of group I want to create, edit, or mix group, or both. I will select both, and these are the tracks that are currently being added to my drums group. So I will select OK, and my group is created in the groups section. Alright, so this is an edit group, because if I make a selection only on one of the tracks, the selection will be applied to all of the tracks within the group. If I delete something, if I trim something in one of the tracks, it will affect all of the tracks in the group. And it's a mix group, because if I bring the volume fader up or down for just one of the tracks, it will affect the rest. Alright, so let's put this back to its original value. I will deactivate my drums group, and we can finally move on to my to the auxiliary input tracks, which we call here in Pro Tools. I will use the shortcut Shift Command N. I will create one stereo auxiliary input. Select create, and this green new track has been created, I will double click on its name and rename it drum effects. Alright, so now we have to route the split signal that will go to my drum effects. And the way to do it is first I must select all of my drum tracks. Select the first one, holding down Shift, select the last one. And while I pressed Shift Alt, I will go to my send section, select the first send, and send it to bus 1 and 2 stereo. Okay, one more time, Shift Alt, bus 1 and 2 stereo. There we go. All right. So as you can see, all my tracks are being sent to bus 1 and 2. This fader pops up. I will select all. I will click Alt and click on the fader, so it could go to 0. This is the signal that I will be sending to my bus 1 and 2. Alright, so the signal is being sent, so it must be received somewhere. I will go to my auxiliary input track. Here in the input output section, I will select bus 1 and 2, as simple as that. You know, routing and busing in Pro Tools is very, very simple. That's one of the features I love about Pro Tools. Alright, so this is how my signal is now being split. All my tracks are going to monitor 1 and 2, as you can see here, which is my general master fader. But they are also going to bus 1 and 2, which is being received here in my drum effects auxiliary input. Alright, I will add an insert, multi-channel plugin. I will add the same reverb that we used in the previous example. I will bring down the fader, and I will start playing my drums. Alright, so same as in Cubase, I can decide how much I want to process or how much I want to affect my clean signal, my original signal, and I can also play with the parameters in my plugin until I find the correct balance that I'm looking for, until it feels right. Alright, so that is all for this video. Please let me know what your thoughts are. Has this video been helpful? Which option do you prefer? Is there any topic you would like me to do a video on? Please leave it down in the comment section below. Help me sharing, liking, and subscribing if you are not already subscribed. My social media links will be down in the description box. If you want to follow me there, I'll be seeing you in the next video. And don't forget, never stop producing. Bye for now.